Hey everybody, what's up? YouTubers, Coalfreak is back. Nighttime. Just getting off work, working second shift today. And it is a nice, cool, damp, foggy night here in Northeast Ohio. Cool is alright. I'm not so sure about the foggy part. My whole bike is covered in fog and stuff. So yep, my butt's wet. I don't know if you can see the mist going in front of the headlight or not, but trust me, it's there. So, I've only ridden at night a couple times before, and this is I believe, my very first nighttime vlog, or vlog. What is it? Vlog, vlog, something like that. We'll see how it goes anyway. Yep, I work with power. Alright. I read something rather interesting at work today. We have a little employee update thing that comes out I don't know, once a month, a couple times a week, whatever, talking about this new smart grid technology. You heard of it? Yeah. Well, I got some details in. Apparently in York, Pennsylvania, so anybody in York, Pennsylvania, listen up here, they are doing a voluntary test with these newfangled power meters they put in your house, and it tells the company exactly how much you're using and stuff. Now, and you know, this is just my opinion, this is not the opinion of the company. Of course, the company would love everybody to take this stuff, I guess. I don't know, it's their official thing, the government's suggesting it, so the company's saying, hey, this is a great idea, we'll do it. However, me as an independent personality on my own right, this is not the view of the company, I just want to emphasize that. Since this is a voluntary program, I would highly recommend that you do not, that is right, do not participate in this, because as this newsletter said, it says it actually is giving the company direct control, and I am quoting here, direct control of your air conditioning, quote unquote, and other appliances. Air conditioning and other appliances. Now, let me ask you something. If you decide that you want the air conditioning a little bit lower, well, this is during high demand. Let me finish that. During peak demand, like during the summertime when it's real hot, they can have direct control of your air conditioning, and they can shut it off if they decide that you're using too much electricity. Do you really want the company deciding when you have used too much electricity? I mean, isn't that part of like the free system here, supply and demand? You demand more, so the company gives you more. You pay for it, obviously, but that's sort of like free enterprise, isn't it? If you want more, you pay for it, and they give it to you. I just don't like this idea that they can decide that you're using too much. And not to mention, let's see, a lot of these companies are, you know, under control of the government. We all have certain NOx emission, sulfur emission limits, all this stuff we got to maintain, you know. And if this cap and trade thing goes through, then we'll have limits on how much CO2 we can put out, which I think is stupid, because I don't care what the federal government, EPA, says or anything. CO2, carbon dioxide, is something we all breathe out. It is also what trees take in to live. So trees take it in, they give off oxygen. We take in oxygen, give off carbon dioxide. It is a relationship God has put in place to handle, keep everything in balance. And the government's decided that somehow that plant food is bad for the environment. We can't grow the trees anymore or something, you know, which I think is utterly ridiculous. Can you imagine? Now think about this. You want to have a bunch of your friends over and watch a movie. And if you have this smart technology thing, they decide that your $6,000 high-def Blu-ray, you know, projection TV system is using too much electricity, hypothetically. They could shut it off and say, guess what, that's it. You're not using it. I thought this was a free country. Does anybody else see where this is going? If the government can regulate how much emissions the company puts out, and the company can regulate how much electricity you use and shut your stuff off, how long will it take before the government then decides the company is going to produce X amount of megawatt hours, and that means the company is now going to ration those among their customers. So that means that we are going to end up in, you know, rolling blackouts or something. They're just going to shut your quote-unquote unnecessary stuff off because you use too much of it, electricity. I personally have a really big problem with this. Free country, people, wake up. This is not a good idea. So, I know, how much longer before it becomes involuntary? You know, we'll do this voluntary for right now, and they'll decide, oh, wait a minute, this is a good idea, we can regulate this. And then they'll start saying, well, this is, you know, starting in this particular time, everybody's going to have this smart grid technology, and we're going to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by reducing electric demand by shutting off your appliances when we decide you don't need them. I'm sorry, this does not sound good like a good idea. If you put this cap and trade into effect, you're going to essentially paralyze a good portion of the electrical power generation and stuff like that. You know, people that, you know, making a car produces CO2 because the assembly line takes electricity, and that electricity comes from power plants. And actually heavy industry like refining steel and making cars is a good portion of the load that power plants have. You know, residential customers and all that do make up a significant part, but not near. They don't affect us nearly as much as the car manufacturers, steel workers, and all that stuff. Those companies go, trust me, I've been working in the power industry now for a year here in Cleveland since the recession started. So the company's hurting because they're not selling electricity, because people don't need it. Supply and demand again, right? So anyway, write your senators, tell them this cap and trade is not going to work, and if you don't, you know, if you can get word out, this whole smart grid technology is just another way to control you. I work for the power company, but that is not the power company's view. This is my own personal opinion. You do not want the power company having control of your lights, your air conditioning, or I love that whole air conditioning and quote-unquote other appliances. Other appliances, that could be defined as your oven, your toaster. I mean, think about this, you know, they decided too much. Well, guess what? Your oven's not working today if you have an electric oven. We're going to shut that off. Okay, now you can't have dinner. You can't cook because the company decides that you're using too much electricity. Not a good idea, people.